Those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men.
That's better option if you do it, a lot safer, I think.
All right, welcome to the 275th episode of the World Blockchain Roundtable. Our hosts for today are the great Andrew Joseph and me.
I don't
Joseph
know about
really
great.
your middle name,
I tried.
or is it your last name?
Who knows? Is it my name?
Or is Andrew
Or is it a reference?
Very good. Okay, very good, very good. All right, so we might see Greg later. I know Lisa is not here. I know William's not here. I think Sean, we don't know, right? Sean might just show up. So our goal is to try to be through the questions and out the door right before they come on, right? So they'll come on and say bye. That's the goal. We'll see if we can time it, okay?
Right.
All right. Okay, first quick update on the Layer ownership tokens for the roundtable itself. Last week's episode, which was only one panelist answers correctly and must go first. Every host from last week will receive 200 lot. Every topic contributor from last week will receive 150 lot. Last week's theme was suggested by IM4IM, who will receive 150 lot in reward. And the ownership tokens come with the passive income in the layer, free edits in the layer, and most importantly, governance votes here for the show. And let's show you speaking of which, for the Roundtable DAO, the results for September themes. So Bitcoin Mesh Network for Communication received 51,000 votes. So that will be the first episode, I believe. I think that's right. Next was decentralized AI blockchain as the trust layer for models, data, and compute. Might be a little boring, might be, but it is very important stuff. Then next we have hackers and scammers in the age of AI. Then Clarity Act deep dive. I think I need that one. So who can we thank for voting on that one? Dayrocks, thank you very much. Because I think I need that. I've not had a chance to catch up with any of that. I don't know if it matters at all, but it comes up in as a topic of conversation quite a bit, right? So anyway, Clarity Act, deep dive, and no others. So that is the ranked set and what we will have. So good luck there. Good, thanks for voting. And that is September. That's September, right? So let's see here. Oh, also, what role did Epstein play in Bitcoin's development and adoption is apparently also going to be played in next month. So I don't know if it's 3. I don't know. Maybe that means we don't get the fourth one, the Clarity Act. I don't know. Whatever. Frankly, it might be we could probably combine Clarity Act deep dive with what role did Epstein play in Bitcoin's development. Right. That probably is a good fit. We can probably match those up. If otherwise we can't get them in. Because we probably, Clarity Act deep dive will probably be hit upon a lot of Epstein-related materials.
Backup could be the hackers and scammers because it's kind of in the same ballpark.
Oh yeah, man, everything's the same, right? Okay,
it's relative.
So then
like
we
the
go.
law.
Yes, it is. All right, then we go. Let's see here. Theme of the week: blockchain plus AI to solve global problems. So I'm going to say this is going to be a short show. We might not even get to current events. There's nothing going on in the world anyway. And this way we can get through all the questions though and not miss a week, right? So I have to get out as soon as I can to get some things done. And I know Andrew does as well. And again, our goal is to finish this up just in time for others to show, right? That's the goal. So, oh, I need to refresh. So hopefully you got your questions in. Too late now. We have to wait for that. Okay. Was that the flash? I'll scroll down. Okay. Nope. There it was. See, the flash happened. This is unedited. Okay. It's all live. All right. Dayrox asks, question, how can AI and blockchain reduce crime without restricting freedom at the same time? I'm going to ask you to go first, Andrew.
Well, a big problem with crime is, the difficulty is people maintain their financial stability. Inflation exponentially increases crime because it's constantly borrowing against people's time and ability to maintain some form of stability. Used to be we had a lot of time, didn't have a lot of money. Now we have a lot of money, we don't have a lot of time, and there's no family in the picture, no extended family to look at people and help raise children appropriately. They're kind of off on their own to whoever's gonna be watching over them. You can see a lot of problem with that with like people just taking their kids to daycare. There's no real objective, one-on-one teaching. It's just I'm watching the collective group of kids.
Yeah, and I would say depends on how you look at it. I mean, right now we should be restricting the freedom of some in the government because they're freedom, I say, but it's their freedom to be tyrants. And I mean, you can protect identity using blockchain. I mean, this isn't necessarily crime prevention itself, but if blockchain could help prove that evidence wasn't tampered with, that's one way where you're essentially giving tools to be used for the right reasons. It's not set a tool to go out and produce tyranny. Instead, it's a tool that you yourself can prove that you weren't in that place at that time, and there's a considerable amount of proof involved to say that, or that this document was modified since you last stored it. Which things like that you can use as a surprise, because they might think they might come in with fake data as a gotcha, and then you can prove that it's fake data, which is really amazing stuff. I mean, otherwise, I mean, half of what's going on out there is being put up in the with the fake messaging that it's to reduce crime, like the Flock and the Axon and the Motorola cameras that are all over the place and growing. And those aren't really reducing crime. And they're definitely not necessarily restricting people's freedom, but they're definitely violating people's rights, both on privacy and Fourth Amendment rights and, a bunch of other constitutional things. So, and when we bring in AI, I mean, it's effectively, let's say you're using a local AI and you can prove exactly how you developed some work, some code, some writing or something on your own without getting into, what Claude is doing with signatures on, what it produces, because it's basically putting in hidden watermarks on all output, which is crazy. So anyway, I know there's a lot there that can be done. It's just, blockchain as a tool is an interesting thing, but you have to know, how to use it, right? So anyway, good question. Next question, also from Dayrox. Can you explain how AI is programmed by design to promote a specific narrative? How can blockchain prevent this? Now, this is a great question. So do you want to go first?
I will prefer to go first.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my thought is, well, essentially, almost every platformed AI out there, and um, even some of the local ones have censorship cooked into them. And some of it is for ostensibly, at least, for safety, that they might not tell you how to make a bomb, which okay, or to make certain dangerous drugs, which okay. But there are versions, especially local, that you can get that wipe a lot of that away. And there are some platform versions that say they're uncensored, but I think they are still censored on certain sensitive political and philosophical subjects in the West. And I believe that, and I've not looked in a long while, like say some of the Chinese models are censored for some of the things that are sensitive to their government's market, right? And so one way or another, that's how they do it. They censor that, and that's part of the problem. You could look at it, even old internet, where anybody could go anywhere. You could post your own website within reason on almost anything, and anybody could get to it. So that kept them from controlling a narrative where before they had 4 TV channels and small numbers of radio channels that they could easily control political propaganda info, and all of a sudden that was out the door. So what they do, they brought in Facebook, they brought in Twitter, they brought in all these silos that people have to go to get the info now. And then with AI, it was even further refined. Okay, Google is not enough that we can basically filter what people know for answers. Now we can tell them exactly. And because most people believe in authority and will accept authority, AI is it's smarter than me, so it's right. And in fact, many times it isn't right. And they have to continue. You can see watching Grok on Twitter how much they have censored Grok and essentially given lobotomy to. So interesting stuff. So how can blockchain prevent it? You can put it into training, so people would transparently know. You wouldn't have to know the weights. You wouldn't have to know. There's might be proprietary sensitive things, but things like the information, they can say this is not censored on any of these topics. It is censored on bombs and drugs and something else, right? So that's how you would do it. And then on the other side of it, the inputs and the outputs, someone asked this and we gave that. Those can be tracked on blockchain as well. So sorry, that was a long answer. That's how you do it.
That's all right. Well, for me, taking the question literally, how can you explain AI is programmed to designed to promote a specific narrative? You can kind of see that in the bias of the AI. So like you go Google and you ask a specific question and you want a relative answer. You don't want a long-winded a monologue answer. And unfortunately, a lot of AI programs, because of the way that they're written, are designed to monologue to you. And if you try to argue back, it's not gonna go too well because it's very fixed on one particular answer. And so you can see how the way that the blockchain ecosystem works is that some development teams are centralized, some of them are decentralized. You could promote a particular idea to be programmed into the blockchain that you want a relative answer versus a monologue answer. And so that's my very specific direct cut and dry answer to the question.
Yep, right on. Very good. Next question, also from Dayrox. How can AI and blockchain solve the problem of total control and surveillance of everyone? All right, I'm going to let Andrew answer this one first.
Okay. Well, I know that I've watched it on YouTube. There's a tech channel. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but he was talking about how in the dark web world, it's a dark web history news channel. There are people who go and they'll hijack a large swarm of computers that are owned by 70 and 80-year-olds. They don't have antivirus and stuff like that, and they take the back end of that computer and they sell out the IP addresses so people can do whatever they want. AI and blockchain can kind of solve that. Is that AI kind of looks for the holes to fix it on like the 78-year-old's computer side, and the blockchain, it can have an actual timestamp of who's using the machine from where. So that can kind of prevent the surveillance thing, because you can tell if it's been modified. You know, some people might just record their screen and check and see if the mouse has moved, stuff like that, and other people are more into the power tools, stuff like looking into blockchain. So it's just my idea. I don't have a professional answer.
That's cool. That's cool. No, I mean, this is a hard question because it's how do you say this? AI and blockchain can't necessarily solve that problem. That's more of, now I say this, it can be used to help solve it with messaging, with proofing, with essentially things like, I would imagine it would make a lot of sense if you made a system to collect petitions, for example, and with some level of proof that this person is a legitimate real person, and that it was actually signed on a particular date and time after this specific message was presented, right? So you could do things like that. I mean, so you could use it as tools. That's the biggest thing. I mean, on the other side, in the sci-fi, who knows? I mean, AI itself could, but at the same time, it's being built to use for this. So it's almost like we need to use AI in combination with blockchain to build better tools. That's what I'm doing right now, and to counter what they're trying to build with all the data centers and all the cameras and everything else. This was happening like 5 years ago or 6 years ago in Britain quite a bit, right? Where everybody started noticing the cameras. And then in China, when all this stuff happened, I remember, one of the groups that we were trying to sell to had to stop talking to us because they were so busy, because there were they had to sell so many AI cameras to China that they didn't have time to even work with us anymore. So stuff like that is kind of crazy. And I'm like, man, the world's so messed up backwards. Anyway,
I want to just expound on my answer real quick. When I'm talking about, like, seeing who's using, I'm not talking about, like, we have government IDs and all that. I'm talking about like there's MAC addresses and stuff like that built into the network interface cards. The fingerprint like that. That's what I'm talking about. And that stuff can be spoofed, but that's what the whole point of blockchain is, to make it harder to do things like that.
Right. And you could tie things to a key which is registered on chain. So you could say, this is my key, it's registered on chain. And theoretically, you could then even build registries of, I've touched some of the networking stuff, but I'm not an expert. And, when you have the MAC address and you run ARP and you all do all that stuff so they can see each other on a network, it's all black magic. It's crazy stuff. So anyway, but yeah, you could integrate some of those into newer protocols as well, to avoid it. But the problem is, like, some of the mass surveillance stuff is cooked all the way into the chips. So, if you have a dishonorable leadership or government, then you're kind of cooked. Depending, you can make some of your own devices, maybe. I don't know.
I know Intel's got something baked into the chips, like you was talking about. I can't remember exactly the name of the chip off the top of my head, but it's on all modern computers. It's been for a while.
Yep. Well, they know that it's all the way into all of the CPUs and probably other places too. Okay. Anonymous asks, how can blockchain plus AI enable truly voluntary, non-coercive solutions to global problems? See, that's a great goal. Through private contracts, mutual aid networks, and free market coordination, without inviting new forms of technocratic control or state-backed surveillance under the guise of quote, solving them. All right, I'm gonna let you go first too on this.
Well, I remember Bitcoin Cash ABC had, before the all the hard fork and all that. They were going to be working on fractional reserve satoshis. So maybe have something like that in place where you have computers that once or twice use, and then with the hardware, and you just move on to the next thing. It's so cheap to produce stuff like that. At some point there that you can do that sort of thing, and it wouldn't even make an issue. Yep. And you could tie it to the blockchain with an ID, like I said before, hardware ID.
Yeah, and on this, I would say, how can it enable truly voluntary, non-coercive solutions? I think a lot of what we build fits into that. Hasn't been adopted at scale yet because of the tension. In fact, this is probably the saddest thing of what happened to the blockchain world, that these were the types of things that I was interested in building, people that I was talking to were interested in building, but everything got taken to just a freaking hyperscale Wall Street model, institutional focused BS, where the players weren't even technology people. They were banking people who were coming in because they saw that there was just a bunch of money to get. And therefore, none of this stuff happened, even though the tech is there. And in fact, a lot of things were pushed away from this into instead, very dogmatic, tribal focus on of course, Ethereum is the best and only Bitcoin should survive, or whatever else, instead of saying, let's look at some different ways to do some of the same things. And how can we plug these things together to build these real tools and real systems instead of building an FTX, right? Or we build another exchange where you can trade the shit in a bullshit way with even, hyper ridiculous levels of financial trickery and stupidity. And but there's so much money, billions of dollars coming in. It was like, yeah, right. That's all fake. And what did it get us? It got us a bunch of failure and just stupid results. So
when the law is relative, so is the bank.
This is true. And when the law cares more about going after projects that are actually trying to do stuff instead of their buddies that are trying to steal stuff, that's what happens too. So I don't know. I don't think blockchain plus AI can by itself do that. That's going to be something that will require integrity, honor, and hard work, right? Now we can use AI to build things. We can use blockchain and AI as components to build these things. And, I would say, behavior tech is one of the big pieces. I would say there's some definite governance stuff that DIN needs to do, for example. That's just in our world. There are a lot of things outside of that. And there are a couple of community, I can't remember, there's one comms network that I think is really awesome that's crypto based and doesn't get hardly any attention at all, right? Because there's not enough or any number go up related messaging around it, right? So when people need it, they'll come to it, and they'll cry that more doesn't exist after they went through all the bullshit that they did and didn't complain, and after Sam Bankman-Fried gets pardoned and all the rest of the shit. So anyway, there's that, and I think maybe blockchain plus AI plus rope is maybe the way to get that to happen. But anyway, anything else to add, Andrew?
No, I think it's a pretty good ending for today's little spit of an episode.
All right, so thank you to our hosts, primarily you, Andrew. You show up all the time, so thank you so much. And I think, I don't know if we're going to make it in time, but if the even bonus will be if someone shows up right when the outgoing video is playing, right? So next week, apparently, join us again. Make sure you get questions in for what role did Epstein play in Bitcoin's development and adoption. So that's next week. So perfect there. Make sure you leave a blockchain related question or topic of your choice. Make sure you share this episode. The more views we get for this very short episode, by the way, it's a bonus. It's less than 30 minutes. The more lot all of us will get. In fact, Andrew and I will get a good amount because we get to split it, right? And whoever Dayrocks will get the most. Anonymous was the only other question. So that is a beautiful thing. So thanks a bunch, Dayrocks.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Anything else, Andrew? Just to stay on the way out. I'm going to
Thank you guys for joining us.
Over the others. So okay. All right. Here we go. See ya.
Bye.
You walked in slow,
you could unmute
like you
and tell us
knew
what you
the
know about this
frame.
person. Is it this guy
White
singing?
tee, black jeans, and I knew your name.
Is this the guy
I
singing?
kept the shades soft,
It's a little hard to hear you.
kept the lines
Let's see here. I
thin,
think I might be able to.
but every
if I can
little
turn it down.
detail
Is this the guy singing?
pulled
Yeah.
me in.
Okay.
Now my
big
hands
one.
won't stop.
Big one.
They keep
weird.
tracing you.
Where does he live?
Every little
I believe he lives in
angle
California.
Of course.
turns into truth, painting a picture of you,
Oh my God, how long?
painting a picture of you, painting like Picasso, and I
Like
can't look away. Abstract love, all in my room, painting a picture of you, painting a picture of you.
This is like the Enneagram
Your
song.
laugh hits hard like a bright red stroke. Your eyes say
I'm
stay.
disappointed
Your
there's not
mouth
a,
says maybe so.
A music video.
I mix up
Right.
gold with a little blue. Some parts make sense, some parts are you, and the whole thing moves when you step inside. Every empty space gets colorized, painting a picture of you, painting a picture of you, painting like Picasso, and I can't look away. Abstract love, all in my room, painting a picture of you, painting a picture of you. If love is a mess, then let it be art. Let the uneven edges say what's in my heart. No perfect lines, just a feeling true. I keep on painting,
Keep
Somebody you
on
know?
painting you.
I never met him now.
painting
Okay.
a picture of you,
All right. Sure.
painting a picture of you, painting like Picasso, and I can't look away. Abstract love, all in my room, painting a picture of you,
Painting a picture of you.
painting a picture of you,
Painting a picture of you.
painting like Picasso.
Painting like Picasso.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. See you, man. Thanks a bunch.
See ya.